The kid is 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 the child. Is the child. Is the golden picking. Is the sexiest dude in the world. Is the guy who's trying to live, trying to exist, trying to stay alive. So don't be alarmed. Don't be alarmed. I will explain. Hope everyone's fine. Hope everyone's good. Remember, I must always start by saying this: that please remember the nurses and the doctors, the nurses and the doctors. Shout out to the nurses and the doctors, the true heroes. The stuff that they're doing to keep people alive and save people is absolutely tremendous. So stay at home and remember to thank nurses and doctors in your own way, man. I will keep saying that in every single stream that I do. If you don't like it, screw you. So Barcelona right now. So again, I said don't be alarmed. Do not be alarmed. Don't panic. Don't panic. I'm begging you, please don't panic. So, and I look at, and I know your boy Tara is other so Tara. So the title of this vid, people may say, HH, you're stupid. Why is this even a question? Who is a better fit, Neymar or Lautaro Martinez? Of course, it's Neymar. Let's just think about this. So if Lautaro Martinez was to be brought into Barcelona, this is how they'll be bringing it. So just forget this number here, because I will be using this just as an example. You know, I'll be using that as, you know what? Just to make it even simpler, let me make this 4. Okay, all right. So make that simple. Just make this 4. Make this Messi. Give him the number 10. Good. All right, we're good now. So if Lautaro Martinez was to come in, this is just the players. This is what I think the start lineup will be. You have to have Cannibal Suarez. That is your recognized striker. That is Messi's best friend. You obviously have to have Messi in there as well. And Griezmann, he's the guy that was bought for the huge amounts of money. He was the big money signing, so Griezmann has to be there. So then you have Lautaro Martinez. Now, whenever you're a manager or you're a coach, you have to do your best to try and play your players in the strongest position. That's your first protocol. Play your players in the strongest position. If you can't, then, all right, what is your secondary position? What is your second best position? So Griezmann's best position is this: behind the striker, either here or here, and he occupies this space very, very well, you know, and he just has a very good understanding and intelligence of picking up good spots in this area here, knowing when to make a run into the inside and picking up nice little pockets and be able to pop the ball through. Lautaro Martinez is a supporting striker. He has been one of the most impressive players this season, playing behind Lukaku in a position here. So his position is very similar to Griezmann's position. So whereas Griezmann is much more of a creator, I mean, goal scorer, but also he's much more creative. Lautaro Martinez is much more attacking. So he's much more about finding goals. He can create goals, but he's looking more so for the wanted to try and attack and really go for getting the goal. So then you have the issue here, because obviously you have your boy Messi coming here to offer the other bit of attack. Remember, I've gone with 4 here because this is now where it gets slightly complex. So I told you guys, get a meal, because we're going to try and break this down. So if I go for 4 here, you have the 4 defenders. That's 8. Can Barcelona ride with only 2 midfielders? So if you're seeing the two midfielders, are you saying it's either a Busquets and a De Jong, or is it a Busquets? And because surely you can't say Messi is in the midfield. So if, let's say, Barcelona now wants to, because again, this doesn't work here, because if you have Lautaro Martinez as the supporting striker here, that means Griezmann has to go out wide, you know. Or even if you have them both here, that means they both have to occupy this area here and this area out here as well. And again, I think for me, Lautaro Martinez would be much more effective making things happen if he has to be forced out wide, as opposed to Griezmann, because Lautaro Martinez is a much more of an attack-minded player. He is quicker and is much more direct, which helps if you're being pushed out wide. But a Griezmann isn't direct. A Griezmann is a guy that likes to take his time, assess the situation, then go through. He isn't always thinking about moving forward with the ball. He's thinking about, all right, I've got the ball here. What's short, quick, intelligent pass can I play? Hence why he works really well centrally in this position. If you're wide, you have to have a direct game. If you're wide, you either have to have a direct game, you've got to have an inside forward game. So either you have to be like a Ribery, a Cristiano, or a Salah, or a Robin. So those are the choices you have to have as a winger. And Griezmann can't play as an inside forward. He can't play as a direct old school winger that gets to the byline. But then for Barcelona, they don't really play with wide men per se. But even if you've been pushed out, as we've seen from Griezmann, he just doesn't really know how to be effective in that restricted area. But now let's say Barcelona now go with the three. Normally you'd say it's a De Jong, Arthur, Busquets, or De Jong, Arthur, or Vidal. So if it's a three, that means you have to lose one of these. So if you're losing one of these, this is just me. This is me personally. You lose Griezmann, and you do this. So, and then you obviously have a runner from midfield. So it could be, just say for instance, it could be De Jong, who is the midfielder who breaks from the three to offer an extra option in the attack. So if you do this, this works because now Messi now has the option of the Cannibal and Lautaro Martinez, but in the Lautaro Martinez, you now have a much more dangerous attacking player and the Argentina as well. Do not sleep on the fact of them both being Argentine, because that whole Argentine kind of telekinesis can work very well. So I think this fits well because Barcelona are missing an incisive attacking incision in the offense because Messi is having to do too much. So if they roll with Neymar instead, this is the problem. Now you see, because people say, oh my gosh, Neymar, he works better. And now this is where it's not about the names on the team sheet, it's about making a great team. It's not having great individuals, it's having a great team. The Galacticals were not a great team. They were great individuals, they were not a great team, hence why they didn't win all the seals. The Galacticals had better individual players than the three-peat Real Madrid team. But the three-peat Real Madrid team were a greater team. And a greater team 10 times out of 10 will always beat a team with great players. So we will beat a group, a collection of great players. 10 times out of 10, it will always happen because that's just how football works, Check out France in 2010. So if you have Neymar here, the issue you now have is, you see, the problem with Neymar last time was he was restricted to this area, which meant that all he could do was be on the left. And because he was so restricted on the left, we couldn't really see Neymar fully embellish himself. The role that Neymar plays for PSG is in the middle, which means, is in the middle, which means that he has all this area to walk in. So he could drift out here. And what he does is he picks the ball up from deep and is given the license to go through and really attack in with the ball. And he's allowed to shoot, play make, pass, connect passes, but he has all this area to walk into. But with Messi here, that area now becomes restricted. And if you're a manager, for this to work structurally, you can only have one player playing a free role. That's just how it works. That's why they say it's the free role. And you don't have the free roles. It's the free role. And Messi has to be the free role. So if Messi is being given the free role, that means that will shove Neymar out, because Neymar isn't a supporting striker. He just isn't. That is a particular kind of specific position, which Neymar can play there, but you are not using his skills to the best of his ability if you're just pushing him as a supporting striker, which Griezmann and Lautaro Martinez can do. But Neymar can play out here. But he has played so much for Brazil and PSG in that free role center of the pitch that moving him back here, circa 2015 to 2017, restricts what he can do and how he can help to affect the game. So, as much as Messi would like this, so if you have this position now right here, would it necessarily work? Because remember, obviously, what they had from before. See, now 2015. You see, that's this one. Now we're not getting deeper. See, now 2015, you had Iniesta, and you had Xavi coming in and out, but you had still a strong midfield presence, which meant that Messi, you really had this Messi, Cannibal, Neymar, and it was really a front three, similar to what they had in 2009 and 2011, because Messi knew that with Iniesta back in that midfield, he could ride, because Iniesta could take care of the midfield work, keep the ball rolling, keep possession, and also help and join in. But with Iniesta gone, and with De Jong still young and inexperienced, Arthur still learning the ropes, Busquets now aging, you've now seen Messi having to now take on the Iniesta role of coming further back into midfield. So he now comes further back into midfield. He has to now be given more. He has to be given much more space to maneuver and hold the ball. But again, Neymar's strength right now and what he has been used to is holding the ball, being the playmaker, being the point guard, which he plays for Brazil and which he plays for PSG. So, and I've always said that the only way Neymar comes to Barcelona where he works is this. This is like the future of Barcelona. Future of Barcelona is this. I don't know who you want to play in there as the striker, or even if you want to get a bit crazy, this could be the future of Barcelona. Where you have a Neymar pulling through, basically you're giving him the free role, or this could be crazy if you want to roll with the two midfielders, two holding midfielders, and Neymar as a midfielder breaking through. That is it. I mean, maybe this is for everybody, but this could be a potential future of Barcelona, because Neymar can still give you 3, 4, 5 years. But the issue is that we don't know how long Messi will be. But this is a future where Neymar is now the points guard. He now plays his strongest position. You have the Us, yes, right? That damn right. You said, yeah, we have the Us saying what's up out there. You have Sancho saying what's up out there, and you have Lautaro saying what's up out there. So that is the future there. But for me, Lautaro Martinez, I feel, is the better fit. Personally speaking. And my thing is that if you're getting Lautaro Martinez, now, so if you roll with this, and they now have, again, now Barcelona can roll like this if they're playing, let's say, at home. Against lesser teams, I believe they can roll with pretty much 4 attackers and just have the 2 main midfielders. So whether it's a Busquets and an Arthur, or a Busquets and a De Jong, who pretty much hold the basis of that midfield, because it's similar to how they rolled against PSG, where really Busquets was the only guy sitting in that midfield area, recycling the ball as it pressed up very high and didn't allow the position to actually go past the halfway line. So if you're rolling here like this, that means the Cannibal is now, he's no longer alone. The Cannibal now has a Lautaro Martinez, somebody to play off of him. And my thing is this. Maybe you can walk like this, because maybe Griezmann can still occupy this position if you sort of role here like this. Because see, the difference here is that while you can have, in a sense, two supporting strikers here, because again, this is actually the formation I used to play. This is the formation I used to play for when I used Argentina on Pro Evo, where you just have the two supporting strikers in behind the main striker. Because as I said again, you can't have two free role players. That doesn't work, but you can have two supporting strikers. So what you just have is you still have Messi, who has been given the free role and plays to roam. The cannibal is still here occupying this area. So in this area here, you now have a situation where Messi, Lautaro, and Griezmann are now popping the ball off, are now trying to fashion ways of producing a chance and trying to look for the guy making that run through. But for Messi right now, he now has, see, the key thing of what Lautaro brings is that attacking thrust, because Lautaro Martinez is an attacker. He's an offensive attacker, and that is what he is. So his position doesn't coincide what Messi does. Neymar is a free role player. Messi is a free role player. Do you really want to restrict Neymar back to merely being a left-sided forward, which is what he was doing before? But for Lautaro Martinez, he isn't a free role player. He can't play that. That's not his game. He's a specific role player, and a specific role is the supporting striker, and he plays that very well. And if you don't have that, I think Messi now has another player to play off of, a younger player, a hungrier player, with Cannibal now getting a little bit older, Griezmann now getting a little bit on. So, and even as well, what you can even have is pushing Lautaro Martinez even a little bit higher and Griezmann just in behind them. So Griezmann can still even have that kind of play, this kind of occupy sort of this area around here, but still give Messi the room to carry the ball and start looking for Lautaro, Griezmann, and which what Messi likes the most. Lautaro, lay it off, let me get it around here, just outside of the D here to now execute it. So again, that's what I'm saying here. Is like, look, Neymar, of course, is the obvious choice because he's the far superior player. He's played at Barcelona before, and he is arguably the second best player in the world. But for what if Messi is still there, and for the formation to make sense, and for it to make the most sense, Lautaro Martinez would be a better fit. That's the key thing. Now, of course, it's football. Neymar can do things that Lautaro Martinez can't do. So even if you put Neymar right there on the left, he can still produce things and do things that he can't do. But again, remember, don't be fooled by, oh my gosh, if you just have amazing players, we'll do well. It's not about getting all the amazing players in one. It's about creating the best team. And the best team doesn't have to have the best players. It just has to have players that have the right chemistry and fits into the right roles, so they can now be functional and effective in games. So that's why I just think Lautaro Martinez may be the smarter way to go, because I've always said that the only way that Neymar should return to Barcelona is once Messi leaves. So Neymar now slots into the Messi role, because the whole point of Neymar going to Barcelona was for Messi to pretty much give him the role of like, here you go, here's your role, boom, I now go, which is what Ronaldinho did for Messi. Ronaldinho was like, okay, Messi's in, boom, I have the free role, I'm now off Messi, you're not being given the free role. So that's just how I think it should potentially roll. All right, guys, hope you enjoy that. And we'll be back here for more tactical snacks. Peace out, stay true, stay black. I'm out. Become a Football Hut member and gain access to cool emojis on the live streams, and get access to new YouTube content by clicking the join button here. And to view that new content, head over to the YouTube channel homepage and click on the community tab over here.